behalf of the Lancastrian army, we fight on behalf of Sir Richard Neville, the Kingmaker, and it is our aim to put King Henry VI back upon the throne of England. Now we've just received news that Edward IV has taken London by force and declared himself King of England. So the order's been passed down. We are to march on London, we are to attack the walls directly. But the walls of London, they are thick. We will need many siege machines, we will need cannon, but most of all, we will need that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one of the largest and most powerful siege engines in the world, the Warwick Castle Trebuchet! Now this is Ursa, the bear. She stands at 18 metres tall and weighs roughly 22 tons. And in 1471, Ursa would have been state-of-the-art of trebuchet design, all because of those wheels that you see either side. The rope that you see attached to the arm goes to the back and then into the centre of the machine itself, where it's connected, those two wheels, by a central axle. The rope coils around that axle and brings that box up into the air. Now, traditional trebuchets were wound in a very different way. The rope that you see going into the centre of the machine would actually go out towards the back. That's where it would be attached to a team of horse.
Hello, Dad.
Those beasts of burden would be made to walk back in the opposite direction from the trebuchet. They're lifting down that arm
Doc.
and pulling that box into the air, using their own brute strength. Now, this was a very good way of winding trebuchets. It was actually quite efficient. However, it suffered from one major drawback. A decent proportion of your men would now be stuck at the rear of the machine, looking after these animals, leaving the front of your trebuchet less defended. Also, sieges, they could go on for a long time indeed. Could go on for weeks, sometimes even months, and your men would grow hungry. And hungry soldiers, that is not a good thing. All of a sudden, you'd have to struggle to feed them. You would have to kill your horses, and all of a sudden, you'll be out of a way to shoot your trebuchet. So somebody somewhere had a great idea. We will use the wheels found in crane technology. We'll take them and place them either side of the machine. So the technology being used to build castles was now being used to tear them back down again. Now, as you can see behind me, the arm is all the way down and the box is up into the air. The trebuchet master engages the trigger. A simple hook which goes through a loop on the arm, and then she places a chain onto the back of the arm to make sure that if the trigger was to fail, then the arm wouldn't move. Now, you may think that we are able to shoot our machine at this point. Unfortunately, we are not. All of the rope is still coiled around that central axle, so every turn of those wheels has made it even more incapable to shoot this machine. So our trebuchet master orders our men back into the wheels to walk back in the opposite direction. If we choose to try and shoot it at this point now, two things could happen. Number one, best case scenario, we would spin those wheels really, really fast. However, what's more than likely going to happen is we'd simply snap out the central axle, throw it down the bottom of the island, killing our trebuchet master and destroying our machine in the process. So, why do? We make our winders walk back in the opposite direction. Now, our winders are said to be one of the worst jobs in history to be inside the wheels. And here's why. Whilst you're walking in this direction and you are turning those wheels, you are pulling against that weight, that counterweight box that you see at the back. You are lifting that weight as well as turning those wheels. Now, that box weighs 1 ton when it is empty. Inside that box, we place next to 4.5 to 5 tons worth of weight. So what you have just witnessed is 4 people lifting roughly 6 tons. However, that's not the worst part of the wind. The worst part now comes in the way they're walking now, especially on a nice sunny day like today. For as they're walking this way, the holes in between the slats in the wheel itself create a flickering effect across your eyes with that light. And that flickering effect starts to make you feel disorientated. It starts to make you feel nauseous. And you are susceptible to a form of motion sickness that we call trebuchet sickness. Now, the more you feel nauseous, the faster you wind. The faster you wind, the faster the wheels go. The wheels are now moving under their own momentum. So, you're running a race against those wheels. The faster you wind, the faster the wheels get. The faster the wheels get, the faster you have to wind to keep up. And so on and so on and so on. So eventually, you fall over inside those wheels. The momentum takes you, it carries you all the way around the back until you get to the top. And then gravity takes over, bringing you slamming down into that central axle, breaking your back and possibly killing you in the process. A horrible way to go. However, something else could happen. That motion sickness could really take hold of you. You'd start to feel more and more nauseous, and the more you power through, the worse you start to feel, until eventually you throw up inside our wheels. Now, throwing up is not best at any time. However, It's a lot worse to throw up in an environment where the floor becomes the ceiling every few seconds. So I'll let your mind work about what would happen there, but it would create a horrible mess. It would be in your hair and down the back of your throat, to say the least.
I
However,
just got that.
that is not the worst thing that can happen. For now, the floor is slipping.
So slow.
And you will again slip over and possibly kill yourself in the trebuchet. So that's what you see happening right behind me. Our winders now have finished our winding process, and the trebuchet master orders them out of the machine itself, save one person.
Hello,
That
Duck.
person is called our loader, and you'll see our loader now steps up to the back of the machine and climbs into the heart of it. All the way over, now taking his life in his own hands, he stands underneath that 6-ton weight, where we will start to load our projectile. Now, trebuchets, they were very clever. They had a very clear purpose. It wasn't to bash down the walls themselves, but throw things onto the heart of the city, onto the inside, to make life a living hell for the people inside. For we don't want to bash down the wheels of London. See, if our walls were bashed down and we used to send our fighting men in, we would win the battle, we would lose quite a lot of soldiers. But also, if we did win, we'd now be stuck with a city with a massive hole in the wall. We would have to again defend. And any attacking forces
Josh, get the
would
spider
have to
off my
bring
hand.
our trebuchet. So,
Thanks.
we hurl things onto the inside of the building. We have all manner of things that we can shoot. We can shoot rocks. We can shoot fireballs to create fire inside. We can shoot bodies of dead animals, dead soldiers, for a psychological effect. However, what we intend to show you over there today is what it'll be like to be throwing rocks over into the city centre itself. To make sure that we are building down, breaking down all the buildings on the inside to make life a living hell. So we are going to be shooting an 18-kilo rock using slingshot. The call goes out stone loaded, and our loader is left out of the machine.
And a helicopter just has to come over now.
Steps up to the back and starts making sure that all of the ropes are in the correct position. For if we
The helicopter just has to come over now. I know I'd laugh if they hit the helicopter.
Rip itself apart underneath the pressure. Once she's happy with this, she steps up to the back of the machine and starts taking off the all-important safety chain. Then with a steady hand, she steps up to the trigger and removes the pin holding it firmly in place, making the machine live. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the machine is live, and it is ready to go, save one thing. Our trebuchet master unravels the rope to the trigger and gets ready to pull it. However, I feel, all of you over there in the bank, in the sun, enjoying our show, I feel that we can give our trebuchet master some encouragement. So I say, or I propose, a countdown from 10 down to 1, with a nice big loud cry of loose at the end to make sure that we are ready to shoot. So I ask you, are you ready to count?
No.
That was terrible. Let's see it again. Are you ready to count?
Yeah! No.
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Loose!
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Flying from the air, 160 miles per hour, roughly 190 metres, the Warwick Castle Trebuchet! Now, what you have just witnessed could not be done without an awful lot of hard work. So please, I ask you, fill your lungs, give a massive cheer and a big round of applause for our Trebuchet master, Natalie, and her crew! Now, we hope you have enjoyed our trebuchet demonstration this morning. We will be shooting it again at 4:30, where we will be shooting a fireball. So please come and see. Next up, at the East Front, where you first came in, we have the Bowman Show at 12 o'clock, and then do not miss.
And give thanks to your presenter, Alex Littlehealth.
Our fantastic